he has participated in the CILA and REMAX conventions in different countries. Our panel will be moderated by Alejandro Escudero. Alejandro graduated from the Complutense University of Madrid with a degree in advertising and public relations. He also has a master's degree in international trade management obtained in 2011. After some internship opportunities with companies both in Spain and in Italy, Alejandro obtained his first professional contract with Planner Reed, the world's leading company in the organization of professional real estate trade shows and conventions. Alejandro has always been a part of the international department of the company, and in 2008, he assumed the international management of it, which allowed him to develop a career. Alejandro currently resides and works in Chicago at the National Association of Realtors, where he supervises the development and implementation of the international brand strategy, as well as comprehensively manage the association's relationship with its partners in Spanish-speaking countries. The aim is to maximize global business opportunities and feed the networks of the international members of our association. Let's give everyone a warm virtual welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you everyone.
Thank you for the
being
invitation.
here.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay, I'll turn it over to Alejandro.
Cheryl, thank you so much for the introduction. This has been great. I feel like I'm at home, not only because I have a couple Spanish friends that I'm going to introduce you to, but also because LIBOR has been doing so much along with NAR in the last couple of years that it's truly an honor, and I feel extremely privileged to have been given the opportunity to moderate this panel. As many of you might know, I lived in Spain for 31 years, so Spain's still home to me. So it means a lot. It means a lot to be on this panel. I know that Francis, Rocio, and Fernando are going to share a lot of great things about this country. They're three unbelievable professionals, real estate related professionals. And before we go into the panel itself, I'd like again to thank LIBOR for this invite, Long Island Board of Realtors Global Council. Kudos on everything you guys are doing. Congratulations on these initiatives. We know it's not that easy when it's not in person, but these type of initiatives are those meaningful things that we love our ambassador associations to do, because this is all about creating networks and building relationships. And this is exactly what you guys are all going to do today. I'd like to say thank you as well to LIBOR for providing us with amazing volunteers. I've seen Bira, Aldo, several other former global ambassadors like Isabel herself, who's been instrumental to make this also a success. And Joshi, well, I'm sure I'm missing some others, but thank you all so much. And Ivan, thank you from a staff standpoint as well. I know you've been coordinating this behind the scenes. You're awesome. And we love you at NAR and in Spain. Anyways, let's jump into this. Francis, I don't think you need a whole lot of presentation after what Cheryl has shared about you. But Spain, for those of you who don't know, NAR has over 100 bilateral partnerships in more than 75 countries. Well, I don't know if you know, you guys are very lucky that you are the Ambassador Association to Spain. You know what? Because Spain is a huge case study for NAR. It's currently the third country that has more international realtor members. Yes, this is thanks to our friends from the Spanish International Realty Alliance. And Francis, I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities to talk about many different things, but why don't you start to tell us a little bit about how's the situation, how's the current market situation in Spain, how have things changed since this pandemic hit the country? The floor is yours, Francis. Take it away.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you to all of the staff of LIBOR, especially for Isabel and Ivan, Cheryl, because we are very proud to participate in this conference. For SIRA is a big opportunity, a nice opportunity to have friends in the other side of the ocean in New York, and for us is a good opportunity to share with all of those professionals their good practices and their good things to do in the market to improve the practitioners in Spain. As you know, as you said, SIRA is now the third, Spain is the third country in the ranking of international realtors in the world. Our target is to be the second one and to arrive to the numbers, to the figures that has the second one, that is Japan. Let's see if in 2021 we are going to reach this goal. Okay, we suffer as all of the war a huge pandemic. No one think 6 months ago that the war is going to change. That is changing in the few last month. This is because SIRA starts the lockdown, offering to the members information and a point to meet and to have relationship between all of the practitioners in Spain, not only members, because we organize every day event, an online event, name it Emocionate en Casa, Emocionate at Home, and we arrive to more than 7,000 people in all the program. Days that we have maximum figures with 1,600 professionals connected with our events. And then for us is a proud the results of our work during this period. The Spanish market, I have prepared a small PowerPoint. If you want, I would like to share with colleagues. Let's talk. Let me share my screen. Okay. If you want to ask me about the figures that I'm going to present, please ask me. Basically, sorry?
No, I was just going to say something, Francis. I forgot to mention that if you guys have any questions, please use the chat tool at the bottom, and we will ask the participants. Thank you.
Okay. It's a short presentation about some figures because I would like to introduce you in the Spanish real estate residential market in 10 minutes. Okay, our market was in 2019 reach more or less no, exactly 507,000 transactions in the domestical in the whole market, mainly the 80,000 was first home buyers, news buyers that arrived to the market. More or less 85 of them were international buyers. For us is an important market, mainly the buyers from the other countries in Europe, like France, Belgium, Deutschland, UK. The most important market is UK. Our interest rate, as you know, the euro interest rate is near zero. And the other interesting thing to know is that the stock market in the Eurozone present a high volatility. This is why a lot of people prefer to invest in real estate than in other assets. As you know, during the lockdown and for now, it's not possible to travel. Then our foreign market, the international buyers, is not they can't visit our country and they can't buy now our properties. As you know, the COVID consequence in the employment, in the job market, in the employment market, is going to be strong with strong problems for young people. Then these two part of the market, like first home buyers are foreign people, are going to suffer a downsizing in the market, and this is one of the main problems for real estate residential market in Spain in the next month. This is the evolution of the new homes construction. The blue one is the new the first home buyers, the evolution of first home buyers in the last few years, and in the red one you can see the evolution of the new houses constructed during this period. As you see, during the last years, both figures are equilibrated. Then the situation of during the past crisis, when the construction were too high for the new buyers in the market, that produce a huge gap that in the last years is not you cannot see that. The evolution of the prices during the last years, you can see that the bottom of the graph, the graphics were in 2014. In the last 6 years, we recovered the prices that we had before the crisis. Fernando is arriving. Hi, Fernando. But we don't know what is going to pass in the future because the coronavirus crisis. Okay, if you want to have this presentation, for me it's no problem to send all of the people. Okay, why my PowerPoint?
Yeah, several people, Francis, were asking about that. So if you are willing to share it, that would be great.
Okay. This is the comparison why people prefer in Spain to invest in the real estate market. If you compare with the evolution of the stock market exchange, because obviously there are better profitability and good results during the past 10, 20 years. Okay. The evolution of the rate, the interest rate in the Eurozone is more or less negative. The interest rates are below zero in the EURIBOR to 12 months. That is the indicator that people use, that the banks use for mortgage. But the good thing is then that in the past 4 or 5 years, the people prefer fixed interest for the fixed rate interest for the mortgage. That is a good thing, because during this crisis, people are not going to have if the interest rate goes up, they are not going to have a huge increase, and no increase in their mortgage monthly payments. Okay, the evolution of the bond that you know is that the government finance their activities. The evolution of the Spanish bond at the bond of the others countries in Europe is more or less between 0.5 and 1. Then this is a good thing because, as you know, because coronavirus, the Eurozone is going to approve the new regulation for the debt of the governments, and is going to allow that all of the countries in the Eurozone can increase their debt in order to provide money to the companies and to the governments to fight and in order to recover the regular activity as soon as possible. Okay, this is a comparison with between the debt of the Spain, Germany, and UK, Japan, and as you know, the debt, the debt of the Spain, Germany, and UK is very, very, very low in the markets. This is because markets have the confidence in these governments and in their economical politics. Okay, let's pass the next. This is a graph that I find in internet. Compare the GDP. The GDP, and you can see that the United States is more or less the 24% of the GDP, the global GDP. Spain is 1.7. All the Eurozone is near to the United States GDP. But if you compare with the debt of those countries, more or less those countries have a debt 1.2, 1.3, represent 1.2, 1.3 their GDP. Then all of those economies has a high level of debt to fight and to invest in their politics. Okay, this is the worst scenario that Bloomberg says for the Spanish economy in the second quarter. Maybe we are going to have a decrease in the GDP near to 80%. Is the most important decrease of the GDP in the history for Spain and for all of the countries, but in special for Spain because we have a strong activity in tourism. As you know, in Spain, near to the 14% of the people works in services relation with tourism, hotels, planes, okay, all of those activities. Then how the pandemic appears in March, February, and is yet in all of the world. Our activity in tourism is near zero with foreign visitors, and then for us is a very bad situation. You can see France, that is another country that depends lots of the tourism. The same for Italy. Those countries are suffering a huge decrease in their GDP in the second quarter. Okay, let's see if our strengths to go up. This is we made every month survey a survey that where is participating more or less 2,000 practitioners, real estate agents, the whole Spain, and this is the opinion about the future in our market. They think that, okay, things are not in the best situation, but in their opinion, it's near 7, their optimism rate about the future in the next 3 months. Next week, in the 23rd, we're going to present the fourth edition of the survey. I would like to invite you to see the results of our survey, because maybe now people is not with this optimism seeing the return to the activity. And finally, I would like to talk about our strengths, the strengths of the Spanish the Spanish real estate market, basically in residential. And for us, it's proud to have cities as Valencia, Madrid, Barcelona, Sevilla that are in the top 10 cities for business in the world. They are cities that lot of people want to live, want to work, and want to stay, not only for holidays, even for work. There is a huge number of people living in those cities that come here to start their business and to live with their families. Why? Because there is a strong and modern commercial real estate offer with offices, retail, and with high technologies, educators, and people with a high level of education in technologies and news technologies and new market. There is a high quality health and education system, international schools, and all of the service for foreign people. Low pricing in our houses in comparison with other cities in the Eurozone. Good communication. You have lots, not now, but you have a huge number of flights from Sevilla, Barcelona, Valencia, Madrid, to London, to Paris, to Milan every day, and with very low rates. Even for the United States, when I talk with Alejandro, with Isabel, and we explain the cost of a flight from Barcelona to New York or to Miami, and it's very, very cheap in comparison with the domestical flights inside the United States. It's strange, but this is true. And finally, we have a strong political institutions with obviously all of the guarantees for investors and for people that wants to live there. And okay, thank you very much for your attention, and I would like to ask to answer your questions. Thank you, Alejandro.
This has been great, Francis. Thank you so much for sharing this presentation. There were several people who would like to have the presentation. I know you have already said that you're gonna share it, and I am optimistic by nature. I have loved that last slide, in spite of some other slides where, I mean, we have to be realistic as well. But you have forgotten to put one very important thing on the last one. Spain has, again, over 500 international realtor members. That is huge, yeah. And that is thanks to what these guys have been doing. I know there's a lot of education involved in that. I know Fernando, who by the way is already here with us. Welcome, Fernando. Is gonna talk to us about the importance of education. But these guys, in order to get their Realtor membership, they have to go through a code of ethics class, which is second to none. It's unbelievable. They have a very, very, very cool project through which, in order for you to become a member of NAR through SIRA, through the Spanish International Realty Alliance, which again, I repeat, is our bilateral partner in the country of Spain, you have to go through these courses. Then they have many other designations and certifications that they're teaching. So they're ready. They're ready, 500 guys, ready to do business with you. I know we have cases on this room of referrals in between countries. And speaking of business, and speaking of great professionals, Rocio, it is your turn. Straight from Valencia, one of those beautiful cities that Francis was mentioning on his presentation, the city of paella, the city of 360 some days of sun a year. I mean,
let me see. And
Valencia.
Valencia is the main harbor in the Mediterranean Sea. Maybe Rocio is going to.
You are talking about my presentation. You are not going to let me say anything.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
No more spoilers.
Please.
I'm gonna let you take it away. And I think my question, and something that I feel like a lot of the people here would be very interested to hear, Rocio, is you have been a real estate broker for many years. You've practiced in Spain since a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be very interesting if you could give us a little bit of your insight about the tools that you're using nowadays with all this pandemic. How have how has your situation in your office changed? Like, what is it that you're doing now? How are you helping your team succeed and be more profitable? I don't know if you're willing to share some of those secret ingredients with us.
Yes, I would love to. Of course, well, first of all, thank you, Isabel, and all the team of LIBOR, and thank you, Alex, for the introducing. Again, my name is Rocio. I was originally born in Mexico City, but I've been living in Spain since 20 years ago. My father was from Spain, from Asturias, so I'm like a half of half. I have the best of everything now. So I'm in the real estate business since 18 years ago, and now I manage a RE/MAX office in Valencia with 50 agents, which is a lot here. They are not as huge as the offices that you have there in the States. But well, we are making a big effort. Our big challenge, and I would like to share my screen if you allow me. One of our huge, one of our major challenge here, it was that we were growing every month. We have become the #1 office from RE/MAX in Valencia and the #1 office from RE/MAX in the Levante zone, which is the East Coast, with the East Coast. So, and we were winning a lot of prizes and everything. And then the COVID arrived and everything changed. But we have this challenge, no? What should we do in all the COVID instances, and what should we do from now to from the future, no? So here I define like my 3 major challenge objectives were, first of all, keep the team motivated, keep in touch. And the second one, look for opportunities from foreign investors. I have the opportunity that I'm a CRS teacher, but I also teach in RE/MAX in all Latin America about all the real estate things, no? About listings, about motivational, about everything. So I have known a lot of people from Latin America and from all different countries. So I I'm working on that opportunity to have these foreign investors, because as in Latin America, all the things are like real weird now. I think we have opportunities with the rich guys, so we can sell some opportunities there. And obviously, one of my biggest challenge here is to not only stay but keep on growing. We are recruiting more and we are doing the sales. Obviously, we are in the total sales, we have sold less than the last year, but we are increasing a lot in these past 2 months. That I think everybody says that all the buyers were like in the sale, no, that they are waiting for the open to get into the shopping mall and buy everything. When they allowed us to go out, most of the clients went and buy properties. We thought that it was going to be going down like very hard, and it wasn't. It was amazing. Most of the people, of course, went to buy properties with land, with some ground and everything, that they were living in apartments and small apartments. They changed those apartments to live outside of the city. So everything is changing. So I started working in those 3 challenges. First of all, to keep the team motivated, we do a lot of things. First of all, we use like our major tools that we use Zoom, as we are doing now. We in the time that we were together in our houses, we do a lot of training. We do a lot of speeches and team meetings through Zoom. But we were talking more about ourselves, our self-develop, about our family, how to cook, or something that most of the people like me, that we were out all the time, that you get in your house and say like, oh my God, I have to cook. I didn't, because I was out all the time, but now I have to. So we started doing some things like that, like to have meetings differently, you know. We also use like different tools for them, for helping them to make their marketing, like Canva. Canva is the tool that I used for my presentations, and it's very useful. It's very useful, and let me show you another thing that I do. I have here. Se me va. ¿Dónde estás? You know, the nervous. So here I got, for example, we do this every week, every Sunday. I make like a newsletter for my team, and I still do it since 132 weeks, and it's like a motivational newsletter that we receive every Sunday for all my team. No, it's one of the tools, because to keep in touch, to keep aware of what we are as a team is important. So, for example, one of our team members have this sister pass away. We put this information. We obviously have the prize and awards that we as REMAX, we always do that, no? But I also do this kind of information to let them know what they are doing, because if they see their colleagues that they are having or they are achieving their goals, they also want to keep on doing, no? I do all of this with Canva in a very useful and quickly tool. It's like I wanted to share you, because sometimes you want to do something, but as myself, that we don't study design, Canva is like the tool that we need to have our ideas to put in good, no? And well, I have Magisto for making the videos, and FirmaPy to sign the contracts. You know what was the good thing with all these things? We have to obviously search for the good things. it was that most of our clients, they didn't want to use WhatsApp, or they didn't want to use a video conference. And as everybody does in those 3 months, all of our clients are more alike now to have these online meetings, which allowed us to be more effective in terms of time and everything, no? So we are changing that as signed documents. We haven't got any client to sign any electronic things. They didn't want to, but now all of our clients, as they have that in all the activities, they now are allowed to sign through this kind of tools. No, this is the most kind of tools. And in the other challenge was what I did is I did this presentation with Canva as well, and I have talked with several brokers in Latin America, and we are starting to have their clients search for properties here, because one of the best things of Valencia, and sorry Francis, I have to say, one of the biggest things in Valencia is that Valencia has all the best services as a big city, but it's a small city. It's 800,000 people. It's not much to be a huge city. Obviously, if you count all the near cities, we are like 1,200,000. It's not a big city. We don't have any traffic. I just live in Mexico City, so I know what traffic means. And now I live in outside of the city, and I do 15 minutes from downtown to there, you know. So Valencia has a lot of things, and the good thing is, I will tell you my story. Last year I bought an apartment of 35,000 euros. Yes, 35,000 euros. It was a 3-bedroom apartment, and I have rented it for 425 euros per month. So I have a rentability, and I don't know if it is well said, Alejandro, si no se dice así, ¿cómo se dice rentabilidad? I have the profitability. Profitability, thank you. My profitability is almost 9 to 10%. So in Valencia, you can have apartments starting from 50 to 60,000 euros. Apartments with obviously not with no sea view, no, but you can have those apartments. And as we have a lot of needs of rentals, once you have an apartment, you have like 24 hours in timing of rent to house that house. So for investment, for people who is investment, as a matter of fact, for example, my brothers are doing that. They are looking for properties in Valencia because they are going to have like a small, they can have in that amount of money, like 4 apartments against one in Barcelona or in Madrid. For example, Madrid and Barcelona, the average of the price is like 250, 200, isn't it, right, Francis? Are more like that. And in Valencia, you can have apartments.
It depends on the neighborhood, but there are the most expensive neighborhoods in Madrid and Barcelona maybe are near to 8,000 euros per square meters, but the average maybe is 3,500.
Meter. Yeah, that's in our top neighborhood. So it's a very good things so what we did is like we call the Valencia project, is what we make this presentation that we can share with you, of course, and we can talk with your clients if you want to. We develop like what we call a key hand presentation, that the client who wants to make an investment for real estate, we can help them with everything, to build the company, to open the bank accounts, everything. so they can have the investment and all the services about rentals and everything. So we have this small presentation about Valencia. We have, like, in Valencia province, we have 11 golf courses. We have 500 kilometers of coastline. We have a lot of beaches. We have the gastronomy, we have the beaches, we have the commercial and sporting seaport that we, Francis, have talked. That is the most important Mediterranean port right now in Spain. No? We also have the golf, the industrial. We have that port, huge plant in Almusafes here in Valencia. We also have a lot of tourism, obviously not in these months, but it will be again. We have a lot of tourism, and I will let you know why. We have, like, very good transportation. As a matter of fact, Valencia City has more than 156 kilometers of biking cycles. So you can, it's a flat city, so you can go biking to everywhere in 20-25 minutes. So it's a very nice and very healthful city. And you have 340 days of sun. We don't have any rain. And well, this is more of our company. We have 5 team leaders, etc. It's like the presentation that we do to our investments about what kind of properties they can have. They can have, we can help them to have the golden visa and luxury properties, or small properties that the one that I told you, no? And we help them with everything, with the rentals, with the insurance, with all the taxes and all the things. So we want to the client to have no worries, to have the investment and to have the rentals month by month. No? So that's the idea of what we have been doing and all the tools that we are doing. First of all, the tools that keep my team awake, sorry, that I have my team happy. We have been growing, as I told you, and we are doing this as another, because we don't want to stay here and see that foreign people is coming, and we have a lot of foreign clients, a lot of referrals from all over. So we know that we can help them. But now we have the whole process that we didn't have, and it's very important for our clients. So this is like my idea of why I do it. As I told you before about the challenge, the other is keep on growing, recruiting and growing in sales. And we are doing that as a team. We have, like, in these 3 months, we have talked a lot, and we have talked about all the things that we need, like, for example, how to list properties, how to make a very good list for presentation, how to negotiate everything. We have been talking a lot of that. So now the team is going out and is working hard on that. If you want to, you can see some videos of me in the YouTube doing that kind of presentation in Spanish, of course, not in English, but this is like how I'm doing, how I'm driving this challenge. And I don't know, I am very positive, as Alex says. I think that Valencia has a lot of opportunities. It's a beautiful city with a beautiful weather. We are not much people, which is very good. We are very cosmopolitan. We have a lot of restaurants and international foods. Thank God we have 2 Mexican restaurants next to my office. That's why I cannot keep on dieting. But we have everything that your clients need. If you want to, I can share this presentation with you with your logo and with information. So let me know if I can help you. We have to go. I think the most good things about this is, like, to get to know each other and to know that you are not alone. we have we are a lot of realtors here in Spain that want to make business and want to make the work as you do there, and we can work together. We can get together because there are a lot of opportunities, and the idea is to share that. No, I think
Well,
that
Rocio,
is.
that was terrific. You kind of make me want to move back to Spain. I'm sure you have.
Let me know.
This is the reason why Rocio is one of the most successful instructors of SIRA and CRS. Congratulations, Rocio.
Thank you.
No, honestly, this has been great, Rocio. You've said a lot of very interesting things, but you've mentioned one. I actually recommend you to check the chat box. You've mentioned the word referrals. You know, there's 51 participants here. They love that word because, you know, US realtors, they love to collaborate. They're all about collaboration. They're all about sharing. The better it works for you, the better it works for them. So I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of people interested in the way you are working. And one thing I wanted to ask you, Rocio, because you're mentioning referrals, I know you do work with international clients. Mm-hmm. It was actually one of the questions, a very interesting one, by the way. What are the requirements for foreign investors?
Well, you don't have any. I mean, the requirement is obviously to have a little bit money, because I have I have some banks that we are helping us with that, and they are giving the 70% of loan for investors. So if, for example, if you are buying a property of 70,000 euros, you can have the 70% of that, 49. So you can have, like, if you have 30,000 euros, you can purchase a property for investor. So there are not any limit of that. Obviously, what is an important thing to know is that if you purchase a property, that doesn't allow you to live in the city. That doesn't give you the nationality and all the things, but gives you the opportunity to go and every 3 months that you have. No. So if you want to have the nationality, you have to buy 500,000 euros. I can help you with that, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be something that a lot of people on this call would definitely appreciate, because I'm sure that many of them are definitely aware of Spain and its opportunities. You guys have made two great presentations, and it's a country that is appealing by itself. But yeah, having that information ready to share with other professionals can definitely make a difference. And in the case of Valencia, I think it sells by itself. So it doesn't really need a lot of the presentation for people to be excited about it. One of the cities that has grown the most in the last decades is a completely different city today than it was 20 years ago. Yeah, lots of advantages. I think one of the takeaways, there's a lot of people out there just as good. Rocio is a little better than most, but very good, and especially ready to do business with you guys. Think about it. Outside of the US, again, there's people that abide by the same code of ethics as you do. There's people that are willing and more than ready to start sharing and collaborating. I know Isabel here, she's had good examples with good cases of success with several members of SIRA, of the Spanish International Realty Alliance. And that really makes me proud as NAR, because that's one of the reasons why we established this network of international connections. All right, we've talked about referrals, we've just mentioned code of ethics, and I'm seeing Fernando Garcia Erviti there. Fernando, please unmute yourself. Welcome. Yeah. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Fernando is a a terrific instructor. I think he's a pioneer. I kind of think of Fernando, and I've never told him this, but it's kind of funny. It's like these sailors that back in the day, you know, like centuries ago, would sail the ocean trying to discover these new areas, new places. And it was over 15 years ago, I think, Fernando made his way to the US and ended on this island called NAR Conference and Expo. He was exposed to a lot of the education, and he automatically saw it and said, wow, this is unbelievable. He brought it back to Spain with a lot of passion. If you don't know him, that's the word that describes him, other than extremely good professional. He's extremely passionate about what he does. He's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Realtor, he bleeds blue Realtor. And Fernando, you've been in the education business forever. Why don't you tell us a little bit of how your love with education started? And now that we're certainly going through a change where virtual education looks to be taking over, what do you think the future is going to be like for education? Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. Again, I'm seeing lots of friends, lots of friendly faces, and well-known names. Yeah, it was 15 years ago. It was 15 years ago that I got to the States, CRS actually. I started with CRS, and I discovered that, wow, this is something that my colleagues in Spain, my agents in Spain would have very good use of. I mean, this is necessary. And it was good. It was a great experience. In the beginning, I was a little afraid. Said, I don't know, this is so American. All this is so American. I'm not sure if this is going to be good for them. But then they came back saying, it works. It works. It works. We started with the exclusive. We started talking about MLSs. We started talking about agency, and it was fun. It was a very interesting process. And 15 years later, we have in Spain around 1,200 CRS designees in Spain, of all the places in the world. And like, yeah, I started seeing, Alex, I started going to the NAR conventions, and I found that was very interesting too. I wanted to be part of that, and we brought it to Spain, Alex. That was 5 years ago. Now with all the help, with all the work from Francis and all that, we're already around 500, which is going up and up. We will probably be the second country in Realtors outside of the United States soon, Alex? And
absolutely.
Let's try.
Yeah.
Let's try.
So
Fernando,
that's one thing that I want you to know, that in Spain you have a large group of agents you can work with in the same terms. They understand you very well. They understand the way you work very well, and you have us for whatever you need. I mean, if you, for any need that you have for your clients, if you have a client who needs anything in Spain, here, there, Valencia, of course, in Madrid, in Zaragoza, or Barcelona, or everywhere, you just get in touch with us and we will refer you to the right person so that you're well served and your clients are well served.
Even in Castellón, we have Oscar.
Yeah.
Participating in our Zoom.
A friend city on the East Coast as well. Fernando, I know you're extremely passionate about the code of ethics, and I know that you have taken the huge you've successfully, I would say, taken the huge role of expanding CRS in Latin America. Tell us a little bit of what is the role that for these 500 international realtor members in Spain plays the code of ethics. Why is it something that you've been so focused on from the very beginning? And the only reason I'm asking this is because sometimes it's interesting, but SIRA is one of the few bilateral partners that we have that has this course to which you have to learn and you have to know, like what is it about this article and this another. Tell us a little bit more about what's the importance that it plays on your strategy as an instructor professional.
Well, see, you have NAR and you have all these designations and you have all this CRS and all that, and you probably don't realize how important this is, how blessed you are having this. When you go outside of the United States and you will think, I mean, well, I know New York is not very high up on MLS, but if you didn't have an MLS, what would real estate be without an MLS, without exclusive listings, without all those things? Now you're used to that. You don't realize probably how important the code of ethics is. But see, after teaching in Spain, CRS and so on and so forth, and having this group, then people started asking me like, well, Fernando, this is okay, but what happens if the people who are CRS do not practice, or in the real practice do not act properly? What happens? And I said, well, nothing. I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's not a code. There are no rules, really. So I realized that it was very important. And it was at the time when I was speaking with Alex and we brought NAR. We were talking about bringing the Realtor to Spain and said, yeah, well, this is important. What's NAR? What's the Realtor? What's a Realtor? And a Realtor it's a professional. It's a real estate professional who has a code of ethics, and that's it. So say, well, this is important, and this is important for two reasons. First, it is your promise, to the society. It's something that you present to the society and say, these are my values. This is what I really will act. This is the way I will. And then that's another thing is that's what you tell other agents you want to work with. It's like, it's your the things that the principles you will follow when you work with them as well. So it's a promise you do to society and also to your fellow agents, and that's the base for cooperation, and it's the base for trust. So it's so important. And then we started teaching it, like saying, okay, if you want to be a realtor, you have to know this. So let's do a course. And we did a one-day course on that. And it was fun. It was fantastic. It was lots of fun. We did like cases, real cases, and we discussed on them. And sometimes we even had to bring the fire extinguisher and say, wow, stop. I mean, if stop fighting, because there were huge fights and very interesting discussions. So people love it, and it's a blessing. The code of ethics we have now. We have it online, and we're teaching it online now, and people still like it a lot. People really do enjoy it, doing these courses. It's not boring at all. It's fun. It's interesting, and makes people think things that they never thought about before. It's interesting.
And first, speaking about online teaching, I know you've got, as I was saying earlier, a lot of experience teaching. Is this here to stay? Virtual teaching, is it something that you think is going to stick around? How do you see the future of real estate education?
I don't know. Let me show you one thing. I don't have a presentation, but let me let me show you this. This was like the first course I taught, and Rocio, and that she probably recognizes many of them because they're well-known people.
Yeah.
This is the very first
Wow.
course I taught in Spain in 2006, 2007. It's amazing. Now, look, after this, I've been teaching these courses in Lisbon. That was in 2010. Then in Dubai, I've taught this in Brazil. And I have taught this in Mexico, of course, in Villahermosa. And then 2 years ago, I started teaching in Bogota, in Buenos Aires, in Quito, in Guayaquil, in Colombia, in Lima, in Panama. This is Mexico. And then I had a course in Lima again, and then boom, this is it. These are my courses now. Actually, I was late today because I was teaching a course. But then see what happens is that in the course I was teaching today, this afternoon, just 1 hour ago, I had people from Nicaragua, people from Colombia, people from Peru, people from Chile. Okay, and it is so interesting because each one, they all participate and they all explain how they do this or that, and they start becoming friends. It becomes very global. So we've lost a lot. I have lost a lot because I was my job was traveling. And I met wonderful people in all those countries. And then in each country, I went to a wonderful place. I took 3, 4, 5 days. I usually went with my friend, with my wife, and we went someplace, to the Galapagos or to anywhere. Now, I don't do that anymore. I cannot do that anymore. You can't imagine. I'm stranded right now, but I keep teaching. Now it's fun. You lose a lot, but then you gain a lot too. Like for instance, I am inviting in my courses, Tatiana Villamil is there. Tatiana is one of my students, and I invited her to be here. She's from Bogota, Tatiana. Now Tatiana, he took my courses like 2 months ago. Now she's doing wonderful things. And one thing I do is, okay, Tatiana, please come. I'm teaching this course today. And then at 10 o'clock, will you please be there and tell them what you are doing with the courses you took, how you have changed your work and how it is working. That's something that's impossible to do in a regular course. You cannot do that. You cannot bring someone for 10 minutes to come talk and receive the questions or answer the questions that the other people will have. So there's some bad parts in these courses, in this Zoom courses, and there are good things too. So let's move to that and let's use those things. Will they stay? Yes, sure. We're here just meeting people from different countries and we're sharing things, we're learning from each other. Will that go away when this nightmare is over? I hope not. I hope we will learn something and I hope we will keep those good things. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure too, and I'm very excited about a couple of the things that you've shared. I love seeing so many countries together on the same course, like NAR. Not that long ago, we did organize a couple ABR and SRS courses throughout the entire Latin American region, and it's what you're saying, fair. I mean, you see 13 countries at the same time connected, sharing, and building a network that will hopefully translate into business in the future. But at the very least, it's gonna start creating what can be friendships, which is also important. I'm gonna remind you guys, if you have any questions, please use the
Sure.
chat box there. We'll be more than happy to take those. I actually have one that's very interesting from Aldo. Aldo is asking, I don't know, maybe Francis, you have the details about this. He's asking about Americans buying Spain or investing in Spain. Are they doing it in residential, commercial real estate? Is it more the second homes? Do you have any information about Americans investing in Spain?
What I have is, sorry, Francis.
Okay, Rocio, no, up to you.
No, it's that I have just residential. The investors that I have had or the clients that we have working with are just residentials. Like to have another residential just in case. It's like to have different zones.
Anybody coming from the Long Island area yet?
There's
Fernando.
See, there's an interesting thing. There are many people. There's a military down in the south in Cadiz. There was a base, an American base there, and there are many people who have found in the United States say that's my place. That's the place where I would like to live or retire. I have those memories of that wonderful place, Rota. It's called Rota. Many Spaniards, I mean, yeah, it's a known place. It's a wonderful area. There's some people going there for those personal reasons, but I would say that most, Barcelona has this brand, is so well known, is so famous, and lately, most of the people from the United States or agents from the United States, I mean, realtors from the United States who have contacted me for a client who wants something in Spain, most of them are related to Barcelona. There are people who want to live in Barcelona, buy something in Barcelona, they've heard about that, they're interested in that area. I would say those two. That's my experience, personal experience.
Yeah, Barcelona is definitely a city that promotes itself beautifully. I 100% would agree with that. Rocio, we have a question for you.
I see.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can a tourist, for those who haven't read it, can a tourist buy an investment property, or do you need to have Spanish residence or citizenship?
Okay, they can have, I mean, they can buy. They don't have any problem for buying. As I told you before, buying a property doesn't give you the residency or the citizenship. But what do you do? What we do with the client is to go with him and go for the NIE. We have NIE is a foreign number of identity. So with that number, they can have a bank account to buy a property, to have the light and water and all the services that it needs to have for the property. So they have this number that allows you to go as a tourism, but doesn't give you the citizenship or the residency. If you are willing to have that, you have to invest more than 500,000. It's like they call the golden visa.
Golden visa, yeah, that's definitely been a hot topic. Speaking of all this, I was thinking it might be interesting for the last couple minutes to just open the floor in case any of our friends from Long Island has had an experience working with an agent outside of the US. It doesn't necessarily have to be Spain. I mean, it would be ideal if it were Spain, but just tell us a little bit about how that transaction, how that experience was like. Is there anybody that would like to share?
I remember that Isabel.
Isabel, she's raising her hand.
Isabel,
you want to unmute? Would you like to unmute yourself and let us know about that successful transaction that I've heard it was successful? I don't know. I need your confirmation.
It was very successful. It was an agent from Sitges.
Yes,
yeah.
someone was mentioning Sitges earlier, actually.
Fran Sitges, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
One of our members.
Yes, he got in touch with me and he says, Isabel, I have a seller and she is she has a property in one of the places around in Queens, and he says, if you want to take the, help her. And it was like, of course, not a problem. So he gave me all the open, it was so much confidence to work. Like, we know each other, and we met on Emocionate before, but it was like an open book. He just gave me the information of the owner. He gave me the information of everything, and I get in touch with the owner. And the owner says, we get to a point to get all the information of the people. It was a rented property, a condo. So I get in touch with the people who was living there. At the beginning, we have some issues with them, but then they move out. We were able to do the fixing on painting and things that I mentioned to the person in charge of that apartment to fix. We put it on the market, and then the COVID-19 hit us very badly. And I was having phone calls for this apartment, but no showing at all. We are not able to show the apartment. So I received few phone calls, and they said, we want to put an offer without seeing the apartment. And I was like, how are you going to put an offer without seeing the apartment? And he says, well, that's what the buyer wants. And you know that it may be a risk. Then, when they see the apartment, if something they don't like, it might fall apart. And I was like, you know what, let's wait a little bit and then see what happened. So we were unable to show, and time was like extremely important. So we put the offer. The offer went through. They signed the contract, we send it, and then we had the problem to get the owner sign the contract. So, in Spain, they do things differently, but we have such a good attorney right here, and he was representing her. So everything was done virtually. So she signed the contract. She was signing the contract in front of Frank, and I was here with the attorney. So she signed the contract. We were a full executed contract, and the buyer didn't see the apartment until the time of what we call walkthrough, which is time for closing. So they went to see the apartment, few things to change, minor things, and again they fix whatever, and we close. And the attorney got the information from the owner. He sent a wire to her account in Spain. after deducting the taxes because she was a foreigner by a seller. And then when I got my commission, I got the commission part for Frank. And it was, for me, it was successful. And by the way, the buyer was a Chinese, so it was all international transaction.
Fantastic.
That's a hell of an example. I love these happy
We are
ending
the
stories
world.
within this new normal. Ivan, do we have time for one more, Cheryl? One more question?
Yeah, we could take a couple more questions.
Okay, there's an interesting one here. Will Spain allow a foreigner to buy a property or condo and rent it out? Are there any type of restrictions when it comes to renting when you purchase as a foreigner?
No, there is no restriction. You can buy a property and you can rent. It depends on the kind of property, or if you are going to make it personally or with a company. If you are interested in invest in more than one property, maybe it's better to have a company that one attorney there can provide you all of the services. There are many of them that works with foreign people, introducing and making all of the work to buy safely and without problems. I think that the real estate market in Spain and in all of the Roman Empire area, all Roman Empire area.
He's reading about Romans now. He
Yeah,
has this Roman stuff in the brain. I don't know.
All of the Empire Roman, all Roman Empire, there is a register, official register. Then the properties are registered in government, like a government office. Then it's very safe to invest in Spain in a property because it's your property. No one can make something with this property without your opinion, without your intervention. Then is a very safe place where invest and obviously to rent. Then it's possible to buy for rent, to use some time, and then use one of our members, Realtors or CRS members, and they can help you for rent and to make the property management in this property.
In the case that I told before, obviously we have this property management company. Obviously we have the lawyers that are working with. So the thing is to help you to buy the property and to have all the legal stuff doing. I mean, if you are foreign, you can buy a property, you can rent it, you can take the money or you can let it, but you have to pay taxes and everything. You don't have any problem with that. But of course, as I told you, we have this key hand that we work with these two companies, with the attorneys, with the
register,
the register and all that, and the management company who manage all the things that fix the broken. ¿Cómo se dice? Lavadora. I'm with my Spanish.
¿Quieres decir limpiadores?
Sí, yeah, we have all the managed in that. But you can
property
have it,
management. Property management.
Not only with me, as Francis and Fernando says, obviously there are a lot of CRS and a lot of SIRA Realtor members that we will help you with that in different cities, of course. Obviously, if it is in Valencia, I would love to help you, but there's a lot of CRS in Valencia as well. So feel yourself free to ask for help in that. We are working in that, and there's a lot of people helping in that, because as a country who lives a lot with tourism, there's a lot of people who came for vacation and love the area, love the city, and buy a property. So we know how to handle that kind of clients.
Hi, Nino is asking how much are taxes, the taxes paid. Okay, Nino, hi, how are you? ¿Cómo estás, Nino? Un abrazo fuerte. Espero verte pronto. Think that opposite to United States, in Spain is not too expensive to have a property. Let me explain this. For the owners is less than 1% yearly. Okay, the municipal taxes that in Spain is the catastro or the Impuesto Municipal de Bienes Inmuebles, IBI. No, is the taxes that the city charge to the owners is less than 0.7%, Rocio, more or less, of the property.
Property taxes are very.
If you want to, I can give you like an example. Depends on in which city you are buying, because for example in Valencia you pay the 10% of transmission taxes
when you buy.
But and there are a lot of taxes as EV, as Francis said, and all, but there is not as cheap as, sorry, it's not as expensive as.
Expensive than in the United States, yeah. United States is expensive.
It's expensive.
To hold the property, maybe it's cheaper, maybe no, it's cheaper, or Fernando, it's cheaper the when you buy, because the taxes in the moment that you are buying are less than in Spain, but in Spain it's very cheap, the ownership.
Property taxes are low. Property taxes are very low. Sales taxes are much higher than in the United States, which means that you can have a property and you don't pay much taxes for it for years. But then when you sell is when you do pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay?
When you buy,
we find it surprising how often you sell and how easily you sell and move. In Spain, you don't do that. You have to, I mean, you pay taxes every time you move.
Yeah, it's a big difference between both markets.
Yep. But in Spain, most of the people loves to buy properties. They love more land, to be a property owner than like a renter.
Yeah, definitely something NAR advocates for as well. All right, Ivan, Cheryl, I just wanted to thank you again on behalf of NAR. Thanks to our wonderful threesome of panelists, Fernando, Francis, Rocio. Always a pleasure having you here sharing your expertise and your knowledge with us. I will remind you all to leave your contact details. There's a lot of questions we couldn't get to, and I'm sure people will be very, very interested in contacting with you.
Yes, please.
And that's it on my end. Thank you all for being there. Ivan, again, thanks so much for coordinating. Cheryl, million thanks for your introductions and your 2020 successful Global Council chairmanship with LIBOR, our friends from LIBOR. Thank you so much for your time. And I'll let you say the last couple words, Cheryl.
Thank you, Alex, Francis, Rocio, and Fernando. It was a wonderful panel, and we appreciate so much your time and your valuable knowledge. And I posted on the chat a contact for if you want slides or anything available, whatever we have, you would send an email to globalawareness@lirealtor.com. Sorry. That's globalawareness@lirealtor.com, and we can send them to you. So with that, thank you, and thank you, Isabella, for all your help in putting this together.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, LIBOR. for
Thank
inviting
you,
us.
thank you, thank you.
And thank
A
you, everyone.
pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. That was amazing.
Hope to
Thank
see
you.
you soon in Mocionate or in NIR.
We'll be reaching
You never
out
know.
on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and Facebook.
Celebration
We'll
or
connect
NIR.
everyone.
Celebrate.